Have you ever opened your eyes in the morning, glanced downwards, and felt nothing? No spark, no vitality, no echo of the virile man you once knew? For countless men over the age of 60, this disheartening absence has become a recurring, unwelcome guest. And here's a difficult truth that many doctors, with all due respect, often fail to emphasize. The disappearance of your morning vigor isn't simply a matter of advancing years. It's a signal, a vital warning sign, a flashing red alert indicating that your blood circulation, your body's ability to recover, and the overall health of your vascular system are all experiencing a decline. I'm Dr. Evelyn Blake, and for over 3 decades, I've dedicated my life to the study and treatment of men's health as we navigate the journey of aging. Through those years of experience, I've come to a profound realization: revitalizing your performance doesn't begin in the bedroom, as many might assume. It starts the evening before, with a practice so simple, so easily overlooked, that most men dismiss it entirely. You see, there's a fascinating paradox that continues to surprise many of my patients. It's not about resorting to testosterone injections or enduring grueling hours at the gym that makes the most significant impact on your performance. It's about what you consciously choose to drink before you retire for the night. Yes, the very thing you introduce into your body during the final hour of your day plays a crucial role in determining whether you'll greet the morning with renewed strength or with a sense of disappointment. And this evening, I want to share with you the precise drink that I consistently recommend to every man over 50, every wise gentleman who desires to regain that morning strength, enhance their blood flow, and rekindle that quiet, inner confidence that may have begun to fade. In just a moment, I'll reveal the 3 natural ingredients that make up this remarkable concoction, along with a detailed explanation of why they work so effectively within the aging male body. But first, it's essential that you understand the underlying processes occurring within you and why this often forgotten bedtime ritual might be the most valuable 2 minutes of your entire day. Before we delve deeper, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. This ensures that you won't miss out on any future health advice specifically designed for men over 60. And if this message resonates with you, if it speaks to your own experiences, please type 1 in the comments below. If not, feel free to type 0. Your feedback is incredibly valuable and helps me tailor this channel to better serve your needs. Now, let's begin by addressing the first and most frequently overlooked truth: why so many men over 60 are experiencing a gradual decline in their performance without even fully recognizing it. The reason is that the changes that rob you of your strength don't manifest suddenly. They creep in gradually, silently, almost imperceptibly, until one morning, you awaken to the unsettling realization that something is undeniably missing. This is the silent decline that no one adequately prepares you for. Early in my career, as I began working with older men, I observed a common thread that ran through their experiences. It wasn't merely the appearance of gray hairs or a slightly slower gait. It was a subtle, underlying sense of loss, a quiet grief. Not the kind that evokes tears, but the kind that settles deep within your bones, a persistent ache that arises when a part of yourself begins to fade without warning. One of my patients, a retired firefighter in his late 60s, once confided in me, "Doc, I never truly felt old until I stopped waking up the same way." And I understood precisely what he meant. He wasn't referring to physical pain or stiffness. He was talking about that unmistakable signal of manhood, that surge of morning energy that used to arrive unbidden, a reliable indicator of vitality. This decline is not a sudden event. It's not dramatic or easily noticeable. It progresses gradually, almost apologetically. Perhaps one night of slightly restless sleep, followed by a morning lacking in energy. One missed signal, then another. And before you know it, weeks or months have passed, leaving you wondering if this is simply the inevitable reality of life from this point forward. The truth is, most men don't fully recognize the internal changes occurring within their bodies until that defining physical signal vanishes. Your blood vessels gradually lose their elasticity. Circulation becomes sluggish. The body's production of nitric oxide, a crucial molecule for promoting healthy blood flow, begins to diminish. Testosterone levels may start to decline. Sleep becomes lighter and less restorative. Slowly, your body ceases to provide you with the same reassuring messages it once did. This isn't because you're somehow broken or deficient. It's simply because no one adequately prepared you for this transition. No one warned you that performance-related challenges often begin long before any overt symptoms manifest. And because this decline is so subtle and gradual, most men tend to blame themselves. They experience feelings of shame, or worse, they simply give up, resigning themselves to a perceived inevitability. But here's the message I consistently convey to every man who sits across from me in my office. You are not finished. You are far from being finished. Your body still possesses the innate capacity to perform. It simply requires the right conditions, the optimal environment, to remember how. And that's where your nightly routine plays a pivotal role. Because while decline may arrive quietly, recovery begins with something even quieter, a small act of nourishment, performed consistently. And that brings us to one of the most often overlooked healing opportunities within a man's day. It's not during your exercise routine. It's not during your meals. It occurs during those hours when you're barely conscious, when your body has the greatest opportunity to rebuild and regenerate from the inside out. Let's explore why nighttime represents a golden opportunity for men over 60. I've encountered men sitting in my office, clutching lab results that indicate decent testosterone levels, normal cholesterol, and even clear cardiac scans. Yet, despite these seemingly positive indicators, they still felt as though something was fundamentally missing. They would express their frustration in hushed tones, saying, "I just don't feel like myself anymore." And my initial question is always the same: how's your circulation? Because what many men fail to realize is that performance, desire, confidence, all of these factors originate and ultimately depend on healthy blood flow. Not testosterone levels, not muscle mass, not motivation alone, but simply the unrestricted, unimpeded movement of blood to precisely where it needs to go. Your entire sexual response, from the initial spark of arousal to the firmness that signifies a healthy erection, is directly dependent on the efficient functioning of your blood vessels. It's a mechanical process, certainly, but it's also profoundly emotional. Because when your body responds as it should, you feel alive, you feel desired, you feel like a man. But blood vessels don't maintain their openness and elasticity on their own. They require support from a crucial molecule known as nitric oxide, a natural compound that signals your arteries to relax and widen, promoting optimal blood flow. During your younger years, your body produced ample amounts of nitric oxide. However, after the age of 50, that production begins to slow down. Your arteries stiffen, your blood flow becomes more restricted, and gradually, that responsiveness begins to diminish. I recall one particular patient, a 72-year-old gentleman in excellent physical condition who walked 5 miles every day, yet still struggled with performance issues. He looked me directly in the eye and said, "Doc, I feel strong, but I'm not working where it counts." And he was absolutely right. Because strength without adequate circulation is akin to an engine without fuel. You can possess all the desire in the world, but if the blood cannot reach its intended destination, nothing will happen. What's even more concerning is that many men believe this decline is inevitable, a natural consequence of aging that they must simply accept. But the truth is, blood flow can be improved at any age. You simply need to provide your body with the right tools, the appropriate support. Not more strenuous effort, not more pressure, but smarter, more targeted support. And the most effective time to revitalize blood flow isn't during the day, when you're active and stressed. It's at night, when your body finally has the opportunity to transition out of stress mode and into a state of repair and regeneration. Coming up next, I'll explain why those quiet nighttime hours are far more than just a time for sleep. They represent your body's golden opportunity to heal, reset, and reclaim your vitality, provided you know how to leverage them effectively. There's something inherently sacred about nighttime, a quality that most people tend to overlook. It's the one period of the day when the world around us quiets down, and your body, if given the chance, can truly begin to repair and regenerate itself. Yet, for many of the men I've worked with, night has become something entirely different, a restless period characterized by tossing and turning, frequent trips to the bathroom, shallow sleep, and waking up feeling even more exhausted than they were before going to bed. And each time they miss out on that deep, restorative rest, they miss a valuable opportunity to heal. You see, your body isn't idle while you sleep. It's actually performing some of its most crucial work, particularly if you're over 60. As you rest, your blood pressure naturally decreases, your heart rate slows down, and your parasympathetic nervous system takes over. This is your rest and digest system, and it's where the real magic happens. It's during this window that testosterone is released in small, powerful pulses, fueling tissue repair, enhancing libido, and promoting strength. It's also when your body produces more nitric oxide, gently encouraging your blood vessels to expand and maintain their flexibility. But here's the challenge. If you go to bed dehydrated, inflamed, stressed, or having overindulged in processed foods and sugar, your body cannot effectively perform its restorative work. Instead of repairing, it shifts into a defensive mode. Your blood vessels remain constricted, your digestion stays active, your brain remains alert, and you awaken in a fog, your energy depleted, your circulation sluggish, and that crucial morning signal once again absent. This is why I consistently emphasize to my patients that nighttime isn't simply for sleeping. It's for recovery. It's the most potent healing opportunity you receive each and every day. And the best part is, you don't need a complicated routine to take advantage of it. Just a few intentional choices, such as what you choose to drink before bed, can shift your body into the optimal state for complete restoration. I've witnessed men in their 70s experience remarkable turnarounds, achieving levels of vitality they didn't think possible, simply by learning how to utilize the night effectively. Not through the use of pills, not through excessive pressure, but through calm, supportive habits that set the body up for success. Now that you understand the critical importance of this window of time, let me share with you the precise bedtime drink that's helping so many older men wake up feeling stronger, clearer, and more confident, all without ever leaving their kitchen. This drink isn't just soothing. It's scientifically designed to restore circulation and help you feel like yourself again by morning. Over the years, countless patients have posed the same question to me. Isn't there something natural I can do, doc? Something simple, without the risk of side effects? And my answer is always a resounding yes, provided you know where to look. The truth is, there are powerful, science-backed strategies to support your performance and energy levels that don't necessitate prescriptions or expensive supplements. One of the most effective approaches I've encountered is a drink so simple that it almost seems too good to be true. But when consumed consistently, particularly before bedtime, it can create remarkable positive changes in how your body functions by morning. This drink contains just 3 ingredients: warm water, pure pomegranate juice, and a slice of fresh ginger. That's it. No powders, no chemicals, no gimmicks. But the synergy of these 3 natural elements, when timed correctly, can help restore circulation, reduce inflammation, and activate the healing processes your body requires as you sleep. I initially discovered this combination while working with a patient who expressed his desire to discontinue taking pills. He said, "Doc, I'm tired of fighting my body. I want to work with it." That one sentence resonated deeply with me because that's precisely what this drink does. It works in harmony with your body, not against it. Pomegranate juice is rich in polyphenol, which support healthy blood vessel walls and improve oxygen flow. Ginger encourages nitric oxide production and soothes the digestive system, providing your body with a much-needed break. And warm water gently prepares your system for rest, facilitates absorption, and reduces tension in your nervous system. This blend isn't intended to act like a switch, forcing your body into action. Instead, it creates the ideal environment for your natural systems to gradually, steadily, and effortlessly come back online. And for men over 60, that's precisely what the body needs, a gentle invitation back to strength. What's most surprising is how quickly some men begin to notice a positive change. Not overnight miracles, but a subtle return of energy, improved sleep quality, fewer nighttime bathroom trips, and that subtle yet unmistakable sign of readiness upon waking. It's not a dramatic display, but it's undeniably present. And for many, that's all the confirmation they need to know they're on the right track. So, now that you know the ingredients of this drink and why it works, let's delve into how each of these ingredients specifically supports blood flow, sleep, and performance at a cellular level. The science behind them may surprise you. I remember the first time I thoroughly explained this drink to a patient. He looked at me with a skeptical expression and said, "That's it? Just juice, ginger, and warm water?" I smiled and nodded, because what appears simple on the surface is actually accomplishing far more than most people realize, particularly when it comes to supporting blood flow, sleep quality, and sexual function in men over 60. Let's begin with pomegranate juice. This vibrant red fruit isn't just sweet and tangy, it's one of the most potent natural sources of polyphenol on the planet. These plant-based compounds act like tiny mechanics inside your blood vessels. They reduce inflammation, repair the delicate lining of your arteries, and facilitate smoother blood flow. Improved blood flow translates to better oxygen delivery to every part of your body, including the areas that are most crucial for intimacy. Some studies have even demonstrated that regular consumption of pomegranate juice can improve erectile response by directly enhancing circulation. Next, we have ginger. Don't underestimate its power due to its small size. This humble root has been used for centuries, and for good reason. Ginger stimulates the production of nitric oxide, the very molecule that signals your blood vessels to relax and expand. This is the same process that pharmaceutical drugs attempt to mimic, but ginger achieves it naturally, gently, and without the associated side effects. Ginger also soothes your digestive system, which is particularly important at night. When your gut is calm, your body can dedicate more energy to restoration and hormonal balance. And finally, warm water. It may seem like the least impressive of the three ingredients, but it's actually the foundation upon which the others build. Warm water soothes your nerves, reduces internal stress, and prepares your body to efficiently absorb nutrients. It also helps lower nighttime blood pressure and signals to your body that it's time to transition into rest and repair mode. Think of it as the gentle key that unlocks the door to healing. Combined, these three ingredients don't simply create a soothing drink. They create a nightly ritual that supports your body's inherent ability to heal, strengthen, and restore performance where you need it most. And when used consistently, they can help reverse some of the most common signs of aging that men face, all without ever setting foot in a pharmacy. But don't simply take my word for it. Let's explore what real men have experienced after incorporating this drink into their routine for just 7 days, and how their mornings began to feel like mornings once again. I'll never forget a phone call I received from a man named Thomas. He was 68 years old, a retired mechanic, and he had been silently struggling with low energy and diminished performance for years. After learning about this bedtime drink, he decided to give it a try. A week later, he called me and said, "Doc, I woke up this morning, and for the first time in a long time, I felt like myself again." That kind of message never gets old. Because while clinical studies and scientific data are valuable, what matters most to me is how real men like you, feel when they finally discover something that truly works. After just 7 days, many men report experiencing deeper, more restful sleep. That alone can make a world of difference. They're waking up feeling less groggy, experiencing fewer bathroom trips during the night, and in some cases, noticing something else they hadn't felt in months, or even years: morning firmness, that subtle signal of vitality returning. It's not loud, it doesn't shout, but it's undeniably there. And for many, that's all the reassurance they need to know they're on the right path. One man told me that his wife asked him what had changed because he was smiling again in the mornings. Another shared that he felt more present throughout the day, not just physically, but emotionally. He had more energy, more mental clarity, and something he hadn't felt in a long time: hope. Not the false hope that stems from flashy advertisements or overpriced supplements, but real, grounded hope that perhaps his best years weren't behind him after all. That's the power of consistency. Not perfection, not pressure, but a small commitment repeated night after night. And while this drink isn't a miracle cure, it's a reliable support tool, one that works in harmony with your body to unlock what's still possible. And if this is what can be achieved in just 1 week, imagine the positive changes you could experience in 1 month. But to make that happen, you need to transform this drink from a one-time experiment into something deeper, something you genuinely look forward to. So, let me share with you how to transform this drink into a nightly ritual that nourishes not only your body but also your mind and spirit. It's easy to dismiss a drink as simply that, something you sip, swallow, and move on from. But the truth is, when approached with intention, this small act can become something far more meaningful. I've witnessed it happen time and time again. A man begins with this simple blend of pomegranate juice, ginger, and warm water because he desires better mornings. But over time, what he gains is something far more profound: a sense of control, a sense of calm, a sense of connection to himself. There's something incredibly powerful about giving yourself 5 quiet minutes before bed. No screens, no news, no noise, just you, your drink, and your thoughts. It evolves into more than just a habit. It becomes a moment of respect for your body, for your age, for your journey. I had one patient, a 74-year-old retired schoolteacher, tell me that his nightly drink had become his anchor. He said, "It's the one part of my day where I'm not chasing, not fixing, not worrying. I'm simply giving back to myself." And that's precisely what this ritual does. It signals to your nervous system, you're safe now. It's time to rest. It signals to your blood vessels, you're supported. You don't have to struggle tonight. It signals to your hormones, your muscles, your brain, this is your opportunity to heal. You don't need candles or music or elaborate routines. You simply need intention. Take a short walk after dinner. Allow your mind to slow down. Then, go to your kitchen. Warm the water. Pour the juice. Slice the ginger. Stir slowly. Breathe. Sip without rushing. You're not just preparing your body for sleep, you're preparing it to recover, to restore, to respond. What I appreciate most is that this ritual meets you exactly where you are. Whether you're in excellent physical condition or struggling, whether you've been neglecting your health or actively nurturing it, it welcomes you without judgment. And with each passing night, it becomes easier. It becomes something you don't want to skip because you begin to feel the difference. Not in dramatic ways, but in real, steady improvements. And if you're ready to take it even further, there's one simple addition you can make to amplify everything this drink is already accomplishing. It doesn't require much time, it doesn't require strenuous effort, but it just might change the depth of your body's healing overnight. Let me show you what that is. I understand the doubt. I truly do. After all, we live in a world that constantly promises quick fixes, miracle pills, and flashy solutions that rarely deliver on their promises. So, when I suggest to a man that a simple drink and a small nightly routine can positively impact how he feels in the morning, I anticipate raised eyebrows. I expect the quiet hesitation, the "come on, doc, really, look." And I don't blame them because I've encountered that look many times before. One man I worked with, a 70-year-old retired Army sergeant, told me directly, "If this doesn't burn or buzz or hit me like a truck, I don't think it'll do anything." And I smiled because what his body needed at this stage in his life wasn't force. It was support. It wasn't another shock to the system, it was relief. And that's what this nightly habit is designed to provide. You see, we've been conditioned to believe that health has to be challenging. That if it doesn't hurt, it's not effective. But the body, particularly after the age of 60, doesn't respond to pressure in the same way it used to. It responds to consistency, to nourishment, to calm. That's why this drink, as gentle as it may seem, can be so powerful. It doesn't attempt to override your biology. It works in harmony with it, night after night, reinforcing what age has gradually diminished. So, if you're skeptical, that's perfectly okay. Healthy skepticism indicates that you care. But I would encourage you to consider this. What if the answer isn't louder or stronger or more intense? What if it's quieter, simpler, and more natural than you thought? What if you don't need to fight your body but instead simply need to finally start listening to it? Because your body wants to respond. It wants to heal. It wants to restore that sense of vitality you used to awaken with. You simply have to give it the opportunity. And if you're ready to take that chance, there's one more step you can take. An addition so simple it won't even break a sweat, but it can amplify the effects of everything you've already begun. Let me show you how movement, performed correctly and at the right time, can unlock even more power while you sleep. I've been in this field long enough to know that men often underestimate the power of small, repeated actions. They desire significant wins, rapid changes, something dramatic they can feel immediately. And I understand that. When something as personal as your vitality begins to fade, you want it back as quickly as possible. But what I've consistently observed is that the most meaningful results arise not from force, but from consistency. One of my patients, Richard, age 66, shared something with me that I'll never forget. He said, "Doc, I spent years trying to fix everything overnight. I tried intense workouts, expensive pills, even risky treatments. None of it stuck. But once I started doing these small things, simply drinking the mix, moving a little at night, paying attention to my sleep, everything began to change." He didn't say it happened instantaneously. He said it happened in layers, like his body slowly awakening after years of being on autopilot. And that's precisely how it works. The warm drink each night hydrates your cells. The ginger reduces inflammation. The pomegranate supports blood flow. That gentle evening movement, just 10 minutes of stretching or walking, signals your nervous system to relax. Each small act communicates to your body, you are safe, you are supported, you can heal now. These aren't merely health tips, they're signals. Signals to your blood vessels to open, to your hormones to balance, to your muscles to recover. When performed night after night, they build momentum. And suddenly, that morning fog begins to lift. Your strength returns, not just physically, but emotionally. You don't simply awaken with energy, you awaken with clarity, with purpose, with a sense that your body is no longer lagging behind your will. I often tell men that it's not the most strenuous work that gets you there, it's the work you're willing to do every day. You don't need more strain, you need rhythm, something your body can rely on. And now that you understand what's possible from something so simple, let's bring it all home. Let me share with you what I believe is the real reason this nightly habit works, not just within your body, but deep within your identity as a man. Because at its core, this is about more than just performance. It's about reclaiming who you are. I've dedicated my entire career to helping men reconnect with their strength, not just physically, but in spirit. And over the years, I've come to believe something deeply, that aging isn't a decline, it's a transition. But it's only a graceful transition if we choose to approach it with care. I've sat across from men who've lost hope, who believed that the best parts of their lives were behind them. And I've watched those same men transform, bit by bit, as they began to show up for themselves again. This nightly drink, this simple ritual, isn't just about improved blood flow or firmer mornings. It's about honoring your body in a world that constantly encourages you to push through, to tough it out, to pretend that nothing's changing. But something is changing. And the truth is, that's not something to fear, it's something to respond to with wisdom, with gentleness, with action. There's dignity in doing something beneficial for yourself every single night. There's quiet strength in choosing to prepare your body for rest and recovery instead of numbing it with screens or snacks or stress. When you take 5 minutes to warm the water, slice the ginger, pour the juice, you're not just making a drink, you're making a promise. A promise that says, I still matter. I'm still in this game, and I'm not giving up on myself. And that, I believe, is what makes this routine so powerful. It's not that the ingredients are magical, it's that your intention gives them their power. When you care for your body with consistency, your body responds. It awakens. It remembers. It starts to trust you again. You don't need to chase your 20s. You don't need to prove anything. But you do need to believe that this version of you, wiser, more experienced, more grounded, deserves to feel strong, confident, and alive. Because you do. And if you've made it this far with me, then you already possess what it takes. So now, in these final moments, allow me to leave you with one last thought, one quiet truth that most men never hear but every man deserves to know. Because this isn't just about how you feel tomorrow, it's about how you live the rest of your life. Let's talk about that. If you've been listening attentively, then you already recognize that this wasn't just about a drink, it was about something much deeper. We discussed what truly changes after 60, the slow, subtle shifts in blood flow, energy levels, sleep quality, and that sense of manhood that sometimes seems to fade without warning. We explored why those morning signals matter so much, not just biologically, but emotionally. We examined how sleep, blood circulation, nitric oxide, and even your nightly routine contribute to something larger, your ability to feel strong, alive, and connected to yourself once again. And then we broke it down. One simple drink, 3 ingredients, warm water, pomegranate juice, and ginger, each with a specific purpose, each working synergistically to support your body during the hours when it heals most effectively. We discussed how this transforms from a mere beverage into a ritual, a signal to your system that you are still worth caring for. We heard real stories from real men who began sleeping better, awakening with greater clarity, and feeling a little more like themselves again, not through magic or hype, but because they chose to show up for themselves each night with something small, consistent, and meaningful. I've witnessed what happens when a man commits to that. He changes, not just in how he performs, but in how he walks, how he speaks, how he perceives himself. That's the aspect of my work that I cherish most, witnessing a man quietly, confidently, and on his own terms, come back to life. So tonight, I hope you'll take a moment, just 5 minutes, for yourself. Make the drink. Breathe. Give your body the space it's been asking for. You don't have to do everything at once. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to begin. Because this isn't about chasing youth, it's about honoring the man you are now, wiser, more experienced, and still full of life. You haven't missed your opportunity, you're not too far gone. And the journey back to vitality doesn't begin with pressure, it begins with care. Your body is listening. The question is, what will you tell it tonight? If this message resonated with you, if you felt seen, understood, or even just a little more hopeful, then I invite you to take one simple step in return. Click that like button to indicate that this kind of content is valuable. Share this video with another man in your life who might benefit from hearing it, whether it's your brother, your father, or a friend who's quietly struggling and unsure of where to turn. And leave a comment below. Share how you're feeling, what you're experiencing, or even just say, I'm in. Your voice matters more than you know. And if you found genuine value here and would like to support the continued creation of honest, compassionate men's health content like this, please consider making a small donation. Every contribution helps keep this message alive and allows it to reach more men who need it. You'll find the donation link in the description below. This channel isn't about trends or hype. It's about truth, support, and real solutions for real men. Thank you for being here and for showing up, not just for me, but for yourself. Let's continue building something that matters, together.